What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a good week since the last video. So today I'm going to be making my NBA playoff predictions. So to start off, we've got to go into the play-in tournament here and pick who we think are going to win in these games. So we first have the Hawks playing the Heat. I'm actually gonna have the Hawks winning this one. I think I like their team. I like Trae Young. I think he's a great player. Not to mention some other great players on their team, DeMar DeRozan. I think the Hawks could be pretty good and maybe make a run, maybe win in round one. But yeah, I think that could happen. Moving on, we've got the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. Now, Timberwolves, they've got Ja Morant, so here. Ja Morant is a great player, but listen up, the Lakers also have LeBron James, and um this is a tough one for me. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I think I'm gonna pick the Timberwolves. I've been watching them quite a bit this year, and I do like that team. I have them winning by like 5. Next up, we've got the Bulls taking on the Raptors. I'll go pretty fast here. I'm going to have the Raptors winning this one. I like their team. I don't think they're going to win round one, but I do think they will win the play-in game. And finally, we have the Thunder taking on the Pelicans. I do like both of these teams, but I'm going to have the Pelicans winning. I do like Zion Williamson, so there you have it. Those are my play-in teams. So on this bracket though, which is ESPN NBA Playoff Challenge, it doesn't have the play-in teams. Well, obviously because the play-in games haven't happened yet, but I will come back and edit this again once the play-in games are over. So, let's just say Bucks, and they'll play a play-in team. Which play-in team? I am not 100% sure, but I am going to have the Bucks winning either way. They've been the best team this year, I believe. So the Bucks are going to move on no matter who they play in that playing game. And then next up, we're going to have the Cavaliers taking on the Knicks. I think this will be a close game, obviously 4v5. Let's take a look at the preview here, looking at how these teams performed throughout the year. So Julius Randle, obviously the star for the Knicks.
If they get sent home in a
My bad. I didn't know that those videos played automatically. But then obviously Donovan Mitchell for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is playing very, very well. And then they also have Allen, who's getting just about 10 rebounds per game, which is very good. And then Garland, who is also getting 7.8 assists per game. So, yeah, that is the Knicks Cavaliers. Now, let me make my prediction. I am going to go with the Knicks. It's going to be very close. I think they're going to win not by much, like 2 to 5 points, I would say. They're going to win by. I think it's going to be very close. Could even go into overtime, I believe. Next up, we've got 76ers versus the Nets. The Nets have been a very up and down team, but I'm going to pick the 76ers. I really like that team. I think they can do something in this tournament. Then we've got the Celtics versus either Miami or Atlanta. And I believe, let me remember here. Yes, I picked the Atlanta Hawks to win it. But I do think the Celtics are going to win either way. Yeah, that's that. Then, moving on, Nuggets versus a play-in team. Whoever the play-in team is, the Nuggets are going to win. Next up, we've got Suns Clippers. I do like to preview these really close matchups, 4v5 seeds. So just looking, Suns have a slightly better record than the Clippers, but that doesn't mean much. the Clippers are favored by I want to say about 6%, 0.6%. Looking at the injury report here, it's rough for the Suns. For Kevin Durant is doubtful. That is not good for them. And then the Clippers, Paul George is out, which is a big loss. Then Marcus Morris is also out. But I think if Kevin Durant was playing, I think the Suns would be favored in this game. But because Durant isn't playing, I'm going to have the Clippers winning this game. Okay, then next up we've got Kings taking on the Warriors. Let's just look at the stats here. I do like this Kings team. I watched them quite a bit this year. Kings, Warriors. I mean, obviously the Warriors have Stephen Curry, but
who is the biggest winner in the West?
But looking at the injury report here, we've got Ty Jerome is doubtful for the Warriors, and Davion Mitchell is doubtful for the Kings. Ty Jerome, looking at his stats this year, he averaged only 7 points per game, so not a huge loss for them. Yep. Yeah. So that's not a huge loss for them, but then for the Kings, we look at Davion Mitchell, who is averaging 5.6 points per game. So not anything huge. Not any huge losses for them.
Who is the biggest winner in the West?
Yeah. So I think I'm still gonna have to go with the Kings, but I don't think it's not gonna be a blowout, definitely, but it's gonna be a closer game, but I do think the Kings are going to win by a decent amount. Then finally we've got the Grizzlies, or I had the Timberwolves winning, I believe. So Grizzlies or Timberwolves, I think. Either way, whoever it is, they are going to beat the play-in team. The Grizzlies are. Then moving on to the conference semifinals, we start with the Bucks taking on the Knicks. So the Bucks, they've obviously got Giannis, and they've been the best team this year. There's just no denying that. I want to say the Celtics were, but I would have to be lying because the Bucks were the better team this year. But they did show some weakness against the Celtics because they lost by 46 points when they played head-to-head. So that makes them a little questionable, but I do think they're still going to move on to the conference finals against either the 76ers or the Celtics. Okay, so Celtics have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Brunson, and what I like about the Celtics team is when people got hurt, like Jaylen Brown, who I don't even remember, he smashed his hand open on glass or something. That was a little confusing to me. Hopefully he'll be back for the playoffs, which I believe he will be. But then Harden is on the 76ers. But I think I'm still going to have the Celtics playing the Bucks in the conference finals, which makes sense because they have been the two best teams in their conference. So they should play in the finals together. And next up, we've got the Kings taking on the Grizzlies. Now, Ja Morant for the Grizzlies, obviously a big key point for them. If they want to win this game, Ja Morant needs to step up, which he usually does, averaging about 30 points per game. I'm going to have the Grizzlies winning this one. And then who will they play against in the conference finals? It's either going to be the Nuggets or the Clippers. And 1v5 seed, I'm going to have the Nuggets winning. And we have a 1 and 2 seed versus a 1 and 2 seed. So two best teams from each of the conferences playing, which is how it should be. But here we go. To move on to the NBA finals, the Bucks versus the Celtics or the Nuggets versus the Grizzlies. I'm going to start over here. And in the East, Bucks playing the Celtics. Very close. But as I said before, when the Bucks and Celtics did go head to head, the Bucks lost by like 46, I think. So I'm going to have the Celtics moving on to the NBA Finals for the second time in a row. They came up short last year, but this year we will see who they'll be playing over here in the West. And we have the Nuggets Grizzlies playing. And both great teams, obviously. The Nuggets have Nikola Jokic, which is a big focus point for them. He needs to play very well for them to win the series. But then the Grizzlies have Ja Morant, not to mention quite a few other great players. Okay, so I think Nikola Jokic is great, but I think I'm going to have the Grizzlies going to the championship. And here we are in the championship. Celtics taking on the Grizzlies. So, Celtics, a great team. Grizzlies, a great team. Both teams are the 2 seed in their conference, so they both had to beat a 1 seed to get here. So, who do we want in this game? I think it's going to go back and forth. I think it's going to be tied up 2-2. But then I think the Celtics are going to pull away, and I'm going to have the Celtics winning. I'm going to have the Celtics winning the finals, going to the finals for the second year in a row. Last year, couldn't beat the Warriors. Warriors are not going back this year, at least I don't think they will. And how many points will the finals MVP score in the playoffs? I think it'll be Tatum, who will be the finals MVP. And I think altogether in the playoffs, it's going to rack up quite a bit. I'm going to give him 223 points in total. Actually, that might be a bit of a stretch. No, actually, I think that's good. I have Tatum having 223 points. And that is that. The Celtics are going to win the NBA Finals. And there you have it. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll be back with Imperialism tomorrow. See you guys in the next one. Bye.